It's the 94th episode of the Elite Cosplay Podcast. I'm Holly. And that's Kevin.
Hello.
What?
I don't know. I felt weird. I felt like doing that.
Just staring at me.
Yeah, that's my job.
Kevin's grouchy because he doesn't have anything to talk about. This week has been a little slow in terms of...
But has it, though?
Well, from my ball eyes, it has. I haven't personally seen much.
Except,
like,
PAX.
Nothing really happened.
We had PAX.
Yes, PAX happened.
And there's nothing to talk about PAX. What else happened in conjunction with PAX?
Dragon Con.
Exactly. And nothing happened. Everybody's too well behaved. There's no drama for us to talk about.
I got something from
Do
Dragon
something
Con.
crazy.
Jesus.
Do something. I feel like
I got something from Dragon Con. I mean, PAX is PAX, and like things get announced, and indie games come out, and they're cute, and I play them. And
that's what I was looking at. That's that stupid sound video that I was listening to before.
Yes, before I made Kevin start the podcast, he couldn't get an ad to stop.
Well, it wasn't an ad. It was a game. It was for Gorn.
Yeah. So
that's it
week,
for the 94th episode. We'll
Thanks
see
for joining
y'all
us
next week.
Bye-bye. No. This week in terms of us, we did a live stream for our Patreonies of me trying to do splashes, and it was very frustrating at first.
Photographing splashes. Let's
me doing splashes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we found a tiny pool. Holly was just splashing around in the bathtub.
So I was trying to photograph some splashes for some overlays that we will be giving to the Patreons that are on a certain level. And the first 30 minutes of the stream I was just me cussing, and it was really hot that day, and we had closed the windows because we have some forest fires happening, so and the house smelled like barbecue, so we were we should probably close the windows. So I was sweating and cussing, and then Kevin got off a meeting and finally helped me, and we finally got it done. So I apologize for the people that came by, and it was just me going, what the fuck? But anyways, someone commented on our 92nd episode, which was the one where we talked about what's that movie? Death Note.
Oh.
And it was Lil Kike said, I would love to hear more of your first impressions of anime. I find it entertaining, and it's always nice to hear other people's opinions.
See, we should do a series of me just watching stuff for the first time and recording my reactions.
Yeah, because you're pretty blunt.
And a noob. I only watched
you never know what's happening, and you don't know anime tropes or anything, so you're just what?
Exactly. I mean, I know the tropes, that I grew out of Dragon Ball and Initial D, and that's kind of about it.
But there's not many. I mean, little Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball
is the trope.
Yeah. Yeah. How many episodes does it take before we actually fight?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, we can do that. Probably pick the classic ones. Just stick to the big boys, that aren't 20 seasons long.
Persona. No, wait.
I assume Persona does have an anime, but it's a video game.
Oh. Sorry.
I'm sure they've made an anime.
I was going to say, I would feel like they did. But maybe I'm making that up.
No, not Persona. Danganronpa was a big thing for a while, but that's also a game. But it wasn't an anime? Oh, God. No, I mean, Inuyasha was one.
Didn't watch that one.
Sailor Moon.
Haven't seen that one.
Death Note.
Right.
I don't know.
What was the one that you cosplayed from? Fairy Tail.
That one's too long. You can't get into the Bleach, Naruto's, the Fairy Tales, the because that would take us forever. It's 300 episodes. I don't know about Fairy Tail, but there's 300 episodes of Bleach.
They have this thing that's called the 2x playback, which I do a lot of things in.
I don't think you can do that on whatever.
We'll make it happen somehow.
Anyways, if anybody has any suggestions of classic anime that they think Kevin should watch because he literally hasn't seen anything, please comment, because I think it would be kind of funny.
Yeah, I guess the only stuff, outside of that stuff, I did watch Bleach with you.
I did make him
started Elite Cosplay.
Bleach a long time ago.
I did watch the first season of One Punch Man. That was recently.
And you've seen
Psycho
Devil's a
Pass.
Part-Timer and My Little Witch Academia. So
what was the other one with the scissors, the scissor blades, and the outfits?
Oh shit! You didn't finish that though.
No, I got through some of it.
I forgot. Oh no! Someone's gonna be like, "Duh." Yeah, the schoolgirl with the.
Yes, you're right. Thank you for yelling at me through the screen.
Yep, that one.
That one. That's the one.
It was really popular for a second. Anyways, yes, Kevin watched that. You also watched the one that was also by the other people.
The other one by the other people.
Style one. I don't know. Anyways, this is boring. So Shuto Con is a con that's in Lansing, Michigan. It's like I call it like a medium size con. It's not large, but it's also not tiny. Like a lot of people that go to Anime Central, which is held near Chicago, go to Shuto Con. So it kind of has a lot of the similar things. They made a post about a week ago that kind of made me sad. So I thought I'd just share it. I don't know. It's really long, so I'm just gonna like summarize it like really crappily.
Okay.
They basically said, dear attendees, our badge prices are set to increase to $50 on Saturday. I wanted to write this letter to talk to you about it. Because people have been, there's been rumors and false information, and people have been kind of rude about it. So they want to be upfront and honest. So they said in ShutoCon 2017 took a huge hit financially. ShutoCon's held in March, by the way, so it's already happened.
Okay.
They had an exponential rise in costs that they were blindsided by, and they didn't have the attendance numbers to help cover the overall additional unplanned costs of the con. They were able to pay their staff and guests in a timely manner, but it left them short on paying for the final costs, such as rental, union labor, etc. So in order to get to 2018, they had to take some loans out to cover the cost of 2017, and then people buying for 2018, they took that money to repay the loan.
Immediately paid it back.
Yes.
Okay.
And they said for 2 years we haven't raised our prices, and so they're going to be raising it just by $5. They've been trying to keep costs low, but it's been too hard.
So is that $50 for a 3-day pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
They said, however, the future of the con after March 2018 is unclear. And they say, I have seen an unsettling trend in reduced attendance at conventions all across the U.S. over the last year, and it makes me worried for our future. And that statement made me have a question mark on that. Excluding that statement, the stuff before. A con raising, I know it sucks. Cons cost a lot now. When I first started going to cons, they were not that expensive. They were like $25 to $30, which for a whole weekend is fine. You know?
Okay, but I'll say this: what happened? What happened? What was going on during those cons? Were there shows?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just making a statement. It's
all right,
not
fine.
anything else. I'm just saying this is how people that started a long time ago view it.
Sure.
It's like, oh, when I started, that's what I'm just saying. I don't complain. We buy badges to cons we want to go to. It's just, it is what it is. It's just that when I started going, it was a lot cheaper, and it's grown and grown and grown. And yes, the guests are probably bigger than they were. They're flying people over from Japan. They have to cover costs of like hotel, flight, paying people to run the con. So I'm not complaining.
Right.
I'm just saying, yes, it has. I feel like in the past like 5 years, like the jumps have been very large.
They have. I would agree with that.
So it's kind of like, oh Jesus, but $5.
Yeah, that's minimal.
Over 2 years, that's like so small.
Yeah, that's.
And people complaining about that is like.
I mean, I feel like Anime Expo doubled in 3 years. I feel like we paid like 60 something bucks.
It probably depends on when we bought it.
But still,
and I feel like a couple years ago, Anime Expo, like the max price was $60.
Yeah.
And then now it's $100.
Yeah.
I think it's like $115 if you buy it at the door. I'm not really sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, but I'm on
But
board with what you're
I
saying.
get the oh geez, cons are costing a lot. But $5, it's like it bothers me. That's what made me sad. It's like a $5 raise over 2 years is like nothing.
Right.
Like and like the fact that this guy had to write this huge letter to the attendees is I summarized it very well. Very chunkily, but this letter is long. It's a long. I mean, I was trying to get the points, but it's hard when I'm like talking and reading at the same time. Like, it is long, and he had to explain this, and it's probably embarrassing a little, like the fact that you can't even cover the costs. Well, it's upsetting and embarrassing. Maybe I don't know. I'm embarrassed by money a lot, but like. You first have to admit that you were blindsided by a cost of something, which is upsetting to you as a probably a con runner, and then you have to get a loan just to cover what you can't cover, and then you got to, you know what I mean? Like it's just like stacks up, and it's just stressful.
Yeah.
So it makes me sad that people were complaining about that, but the fact that they say an unsettling trend in reduced attendance at conventions all across the U.S. over last year. I don't think that's true. I think he could still make his point that you need to raise the price $5 because things are getting expensive. The hotel's costing more. The union labor is costing more. Prices go up eventually, and so your badges need to go up with the stuff that's going up. So that's fine, but I don't think I'm wondering where he got that from because. I know AX did 7% better, claiming that according to them, and I know people are telling us like, "Oh, it's getting so crowded now." Like not even just AX, like other things, like other cons that they like going to. Oh, it's just so crowded, And I'm like, and we always talk about how it's a lot more popular.
Yeah, it is, and and even with that business guy that I was talking to, I talked about the podcast, there is an increase in geek culture. So it could be that he might be referring to like anime specific cons, maybe like smaller cons. Like I feel like the bigger cons make enough money to keep making themselves bigger.
Yeah.
Where the smaller cons are struggling. I can see that argument, but yeah, I mean,
they can't pull in the guests that the other cons
exactly can. And then people would rather save for a bigger con and go to a bigger con versus going to a small con. I
can see that statement. Like, I would totally do that if I had a choice between a big con that had more things that I wanted to do compared to a smaller con that maybe I'd get a little more personalized, or maybe it's a little closer, but maybe the one's just so epic or something that I'd rather go.
Right. Or maybe they're competing against another con on the same weekend or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, March is a good time actually. It's kind of slow.
So overall, in the grand scheme, I would disagree with that statement as well. It's just
that little sentence like really stood out. Like the rest of the statement is like, oh, we have costs. It's like yes, I understand. And then that statement, I was like, really?
Yeah. No. And here's the thing. When projects are run by people that are passionate about it, this is what happens. It's because they want to help in the best interest of people, and when they're not run by business people that are looking, it's a fine balance.
Because they do say they try to keep costs as low as they can for everybody to be able to join.
And that's because they care about the people and they're very passionate about it. But that's not how business works. Business is all about punching people in the buttholes as hard as you can. And that's the crude way of putting it, but it's always about like who gets screwed the least is how you win in business. But
so I have a question. Do you think that there will be less smaller cons around soon?
I don't think that's it. So I think the mid-sized cons will fade. The small cons, like the small college cons and stuff like that, may spin off and turn into to replace these. Like it's just going to be a churning cycle of like the small to mid-sized cons growing, dying because they can't maintain it, and then new ones sprouting up to replace them. That's what I think will happen. That's how a lot of small to mid business works. Is there's a lot of churn and people can't pay their people, so they go out of business. But then someone's like, well, they just went out of business. It's a good competitive space, so let's go in and fill it in.
Right.
So it's just this big churning cycle, and then maybe one of those will catch on and become the next big con for everybody to go to. But that's just how business is. This is turning into a quick philosophy.
Oh boy.
Philosophies by Kevin. I don't know if that's true or not.
They said every year we basically start over financially using whatever profits we have made, if any, to roll over to the next year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
people,
yeah.
People claim to be non-profits and stuff like that, but realistically,
this guy is really passionate about this
that's
con.
that's,
Like,
that's
it is
exactly
his life,
what it is.
and like he has such a passion for it, and he worries about how people view him, and yep.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, He needs to hire somebody that is objective and just looks at the numbers rather than cares about the project. And yeah, that's a lot of startups, a lot of stuff like that. A lot like yeah. There are people like Oculus, Palmer Luckey. He just all he cared about was like making this thing, and he got lucky and sold it out to Facebook. But there are people that just want to do it and do it for the people, not to make a dollar.
You could say the opposite is Anime Expo, who is just like, yeah, give me that money.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We hire no employees; it's all volunteers.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, Anime Expo probably started off exactly in the same boat. Like the founder was probably like super passionate and was like, let's do this, let's make it happen.
Yeah, I think
and
they
then
did. They just sold it, or
and then it just grew
there
and
was
grew
some drama
and grew,
with it
and
a long time
then
ago.
they hired someone that did the business planning, and it's like, this is what we need to do, and this is how we'll make the money. And and I feel like it shows, because over the last, I would say, 4 years that we've gone, I feel like the prices has at least doubled.
And it's a different con than what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's completely changed. In like 5 years. It's so just like
it's because people can capitalize on this culture is what it is. People are realizing there's money here, and they're going to try and make it. Yeah. Take every penny of it. I mean, look at SDCC. How crazy that's grown.
Yep.
How
there's like a wait list for like the exhibition hall.
Yeah, even
like you have to be on this wait list for like 10 years or something.
For San Diego?
San Diego, yeah.
I mean,
it's like because it's the same. It's like if you've been an exhibitionist there prior, you get first dibs again.
Yeah.
But like nobody leaves, so like the wait list like never changes.
I mean, yeah. But again, this is just all business. That's what it comes down to.
Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I don't know. We'll see. I guess I'll check in after March next year. So, in like 9 months, see where they're at. It's just, I don't think a lot of cons are that forthcoming with information a lot of the time.
Sure.
I also don't think I've ever paid attention to a con that went out of business either. Except for, random, this is a local con, so sorry, we talked about it before. AkiCon, someone like bought it or took the name and is like still taking it on.
Sure. I think they spun it off into something else is what happened.
It's called AkiCon still,
is it?
So it's weird. I don't know why you'd want to be associated with it. Anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy with that. We've talked about it
a long time ago.
times.
If you want to go back to the old podcast.
The pre-podcast, the This Week's in Cosplays.
No. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, we did a review for it.
We did.
We gave it a nice review. We were too nice. Anyways, if you'd like to support us, check out our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/elitecosplay. I'd like to take our Patreons on the shout-out levels. That's Monica, Bethany, and Allison. Thank you guys for participating in our Patreoniness. We got some cool stuff going on this month that I just announced earlier this morning. Like, I got some videos coming out a lot this month. Last month I was a little too busy because we were moving. Mm-hmm. So I got that on my shoulders. Lots of fun videos called like How I Got This Shot, which is a new thing for us. We got a new posing video coming out and a tour video of McCall's that is about a year old. Don't tell anybody about that.
Yeah.
You can also go to elitecosplay.com/shop and support us there. Thank you to everyone who has supported us in the past and currently. We love you guys. We really appreciate it. And we know who you are. 2 women at Dragon Con were hit by chairs thrown from a hotel balcony.
So sexist of those chairs.
2 women who attended Dragon Con in Atlanta are recovering from head injuries after they were hit by chairs thrown from a hotel balcony Sunday morning. 2 chairs were tossed from the 10th floor of Marriott Marquis Hotel in downtown Atlanta at 1:40 a.m. Atlanta police got a little rowdy there. Atlanta police told... Oh, ignore that sentence. That floor has a terrace area from which chairs could have been thrown, so police said they do not believe the chairs came from the guest room. Kelly McDaniel, 25, told Channel 2 Action News that she heard loud pops and felt something wet and warm gushing down her face. It was just so much blood, McDaniel said.
All right. Yes, so graphic. Anyway.
I think they need to be punished by the law for assault with a deadly weapon. I could have been really hurt. She was dressed as Jessica Rabbit at the time, and she was hit.
Sure.
That's pretty bad. I mean,
well, here's the thing.
That's pretty scary.
I'm surprised they haven't already made an arrest because it's a hotel and there's security cameras everywhere. So, like,
on the balconies?
Well, they could just have the cameras pointed at the doors. Like somebody walked out there and then walked back in after they threw the chairs. This is
on
again
the balcony. I think the balconies are on the back end. It's like, think about like Katsucon, how the balconies are in the
right. Oh, sorry. See, when you said balcony, I was thinking like a
to
like
me.
a
I think
outdoor seating area, like LA Live at the JW. You know, it's got the pool.
I just
and
assumed it was inside the hotel.
A room balcony.
It says 2 chairs were tossed from the 10th floor.
So they know
of
what
the
floor it was
Marriott
on.
Marquis Hotel. You gonna look it up now? Oh God, Kevin's looking up the layout of the Marriott. I also said Marquis when I wrote. So sorry about that.
The what?
I said it wrong earlier. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, marquee.
Yeah, I said Marquis. Oh well.
Oh well.
There's no balconies on the outside of this hotel, so it's got to be on the inside.
From the inside, but they knew what floor it came from. So that
yes,
means
look at the inside. It's like that place
the atrium,
we stayed in,
the Dallas or Houston. Yeah. So they know what floor it came from. So,
but it looks like. Do you think this is the 10th floor? It looks like it's like a public. It's not like a hotel room. It's like a public seating area on the inside.
Yeah. Again, they got security cameras. I'm surprised they haven't caught.
They know who it is. Oh damn! There's a slide. Sorry.
Anyway.
Or no, it's probably a staircase. But it would be more fun if it was a slide. I mean, that's scary though.
Yeah. But here,
10 floors, a chair hitting you on the head is not
safe. Yeah. But again,
concussion worthy.
I've been talking about this all week. Is people lack foresight. Like there is no understanding of cause and effect.
Kevin rant.
Yeah, this is gonna lead into
alert.
Anyway, I'll stop myself early, but it's just like it's a maturity thing, right? People don't understand the consequences of their actions.
Or it's a drunk thing.
Even then, like even as an adult, like being drunk and then
Dragon Con is known for people being
rowdier.
No. Not as young as the other cons. It's a little more of a mature con.
Yeah.
Supposedly, that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
I've never been.
But still, like, understanding consequences. Like, I don't know. For those who don't know, many of you know that we live in Seattle. And this week, like, the sky has been, like, completely blocked out because of the forest fires that we're having. And it was all started because a teenager was like, let me throw a firework into this dry canyon ravine and see what happens.
All right, Kevin. All right.
Consequences and actions. Like as drunk as you ever get, like, do you not think like throwing a chair?
Well, what I'm wondering is like, did they? Because there's no information.
Sure.
Did they like throw the chairs over, or was it like 2 people were like next to it? I don't know, like leaning back, and it kind of flooped off.
Yeah,
I don't know.
To me, that's very I don't know. I mean, to me, it sounds like someone was like, "Let me watch this." I don't know. Like, I can't. In my mind, I can't justify ever like willingly throwing a chair off of a balcony, knowing full well there's probably people down there. I don't know.
Lee Satterfield had a different impression. He watched the commotion afterward and said he's feared incidents like this because he believes Dragon Con is unorganized. No one there knows what they're doing, he said.
Isn't that every convention, though? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, this is a question for people who are listening. I'd honestly like to know. I mean, people have good experiences at cons.
Sure.
What con have you felt has been like, yep, on it? It's hard. It's hard when there's... Dragon Con is huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge con. So once it's like... Reddit tested this at one point on one of their April Fool's things. once you get to so many people, it's like you can't control it anymore. It gets like the communication breaks down.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. But I'm wondering like what is the number? 5,000? 10,000? Where does it get to the point
no, there was a
being...
study about this. I was listening to a podcast and it was like it's like one person for every like 20 or something like that. So if you
that'd have to be a lot of people working.
Yeah, exactly. For things to and then so it was the podcast I was listening to like was at what point do like cultures start to develop, or why do cultures develop and stuff like that? And they were like, and they was saying, I think, you know, like a clan or, you know, a living community is like a max of 1,000 people, because at that point there are too many disagreements and things like that to function properly.
No, Reddit literally did this.
Yeah, no, I know.
With the chat room thing.
The chat room thing, even with the pixel painting thing, you know, you gather communities to do projects and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. And the other problem is, you know, with conventions, it's voluntary or not. You are going to a planned event, so there is no organization on your part that you know of, you know, other than you planning your own schedule. Like they have, I imagine, you know, the individuals that need to show up on time show up based on their, you know, feel for responsibility. But in terms of organization of like things outside of those events, there is none, because it's up to you to decide what you want to do.
Yeah.
So.
But there's also like, I mean, if you've ever worked retail out there, like I remember I used to work at a bookstore, for people who don't know, like a long time ago. And there would be times, this is a freaking bookstore, where I didn't know what was going on. People would be like, is there a sale? Or I saw this online from you guys, and I had like no idea. So I can't even imagine doing a 3-day event and something changes, and like someone asks you about it, and you're just like, what? I don't know, you know. And there's a lot of complaints about people being mean, right? I mean, people have been mean to us.
Yeah.
I don't know. It will never change. There's no way they can have enough people to
fully tell you exactly what everything is, where to stand
and have
in line, all that
everybody
stuff.
saying the same answer, because you get different answers from different people. It's never.
Yeah.
Cons will never be, I don't think, unless smaller ones, fine, but
yeah, I agree. I agree. It becomes exponentially more difficult. You know, you have the chain of command, and the message breaks down at every link. So it's like it's never going to be perfect unless we're all robots.
But I think we can both agree that chairs falling from a balcony is scary.
Yeah. And you know, it's individual responsibility at that point. You know, it's not
being
it's not
an
the
adult and
cosplayer's fault.
controlling yourself.
Yeah, it's whoever the asshole that decided to throw the chair off.
I'm surprised. I'm sure it's happened before, but I haven't seen anything. There's a lot of cons that have internal balconies, and I'm surprised that like people aren't throwing like people are such jerks sometimes, like throwing bottles. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's happened, but we just don't hear about it.
Like, you know,
supposedly there was poop at Katsucon.
Yeah. Or people, you know, riding the elevators and hitting the alarm button all the way up. Happens all the time. It's like, oh yeah, you think you're funny, you think you're original, eh?
Oh god,
come on,
Kevin
guy.
is an old man.
I don't get why people think that's funny too. It's like,
it's just young people. It's fine. They'll grow out of it.
Oh, so random. Oh, look, I'm the first person
Kevin.
ever to hit this alarm bell. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just like being considerate to your fellow humans.
I know, but Kevin was such a like quiet golden child that he never did anything jerky. Like as a teenager, I was like a dick randomly. Like I thought stuff like that. If one of my friends, okay, I didn't go to cons when I was a teen, but if I did and one of my friends hit the little alarm button that went ding, I'd be like hee hee, because it would yes. Now as I'm older, I find it freaking annoying, but I also have to stop myself sometimes and be like, I was like that. I grew out of it. It's a thing. It's fine. They're not hurting anybody. Now, if you're pulling the fire alarms and making people evacuate, then
or throwing chairs off balconies, then yes, you're a huge asshole.
But that's the small stuff. You just gotta let them.
I know.
They'll get in trouble by the security guard. It's fine. Anyways. That's all I got, dude.
Oh, really?
Like I said, My eyeballs haven't come across anything. PAX doesn't ever yield. PAX yields.
PAX Prime.
It's not called PAX Prime anymore.
PAX West, whatever.
Which I'm really
bummed
about that, and I feel
because it is
selfish.
the original PAX.
It's the OG PAX, and I feel and PAX Prime, like it's a
alliteration.
It's a PP. Yeah,
It's a PP.
It's a PP.
Holly loves PPs.
It's a PP, and I just roll. I don't know. It's like PAX West. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck everything. PAX Prime. I still call it PAX Prime, and then people correct me.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I got.
All right. You want to talk about? That's all right. That's all I got.
What?
I was just gonna. I found a random question on our cosplay.
Go.
It was somebody that was like, I write fan fiction. How do I get other people to want to cosplay my original OC characters?
You got drawings of it?
The person said I would do it myself, but I wouldn't do the character justice. So I feel like they might write in detail, maybe.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It would take. I think it's cosplay so visual. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that nobody has ever cosplayed as
an original character.
People have cosplayed original characters all the time. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that people haven't cosplayed from books.
Sure.
That
like Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones came out on video. Do you think anybody
or Lord
did
of the
anything?
Rings or something, because there's some
yeah,
Lord of the Rings characters that aren't in the movie,
Sure.
and like I'm sure someone has done that, but those are so few and
Yeah,
far
and
between.
it's the recognition is probably really low on those too.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
you wouldn't have.
that's
You
part
would.
of it. Sometimes you like being recognized. You like. I'm just gonna say a word that doesn't exist. You like fanning with other people about
Sure.
it, or you visually see something like people make OCs all the time. There's all these artists out there, and people are making their work, and it's just so visual though. Like it has to capture you, and unless you're like the best descriptor in the world, it's not.
Right.
Nobody's gonna know. Who it is.
Harry Potter stuff. Like before the movies, I feel like that was
No, the movies came out so close
really
to the
close
books.
to it. Okay.
Or I mean, they're not. I mean, yeah, close enough that like it was just always in our minds. Like, oh, that's whoever.
Sure.
Yeah. No, he or she needs a
couple
someone
drawings,
an artist, and then they need to really push it out there. Because if you just put it online,
it's hard. I mean, you have to build a fan base. Like, unless you had like hundreds of thousands of, well, I would maybe say tens of thousands of followers.
Yep.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah,
No.
Because somebody will. Yeah, because if you had tens of thousands, somebody would do original
get an
art.
artist. You could commission an artist to draw it and then
That's-
cosplay, and then and then cosplay it yourself, and then get people curious about it.
Well, but the person said my body type and everything doesn't fit my own character.
I thought they were saying they would draw it themselves, but they wouldn't do it justice.
No. They said they couldn't do it.
Oh, well, that kind of makes me sad.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Anyway, and it made me think, like, because there are things out there, like we watch a streamer named Moon _OW, and he's one of the few streamers that gets away with not having a face cam, so nobody knows what he actually looks like, and so people always have fan art of him,
but it's like jokey fan.
I know, but it's still a creative process, I guess. But like you said, it's all about being visual. The biggest thing for me, like when I was reading this post, I was thinking of like Dream Daddy, right? Like the game hadn't come out, there were maybe a couple. I guess the screenshots really, it really is just
people were cosplaying as Dream Daddy before the game came out.
Yeah, that was
the character designs were cute.
But they released the characters, yeah. All right, yeah, I think a lot. But that's just us, right? I'm a very visual person. Like I have to see it.
Cosplay is visual. That's what it is. We look at something and then emulate it. So it's like, like I said, I mean, I'm sure someone has. There's got to be. There's so many cosplayers. There has to be someone that's done book stuff. But it's just not. It's just harder. Like especially costumes. Like if you like video game stuff. It's like there's so many details about like crap that's so stupid. Like eyelet holes or something. It's just too much.
Yep.
It's too much to try. Anyways, that person just needs to get an artist. It's fine.
Yep. That's a good idea, though. Having somebody commission someone to drawing it, because, it'd be difficult.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm sorry we didn't have much for you.
We had plenty.
It's fine. If you'd like to support us, you can go to patreon.com/elitecosplay, or you can go to elitecosplay.com/shop. Don't forget to leave us comments or throw us an email if you have anything you want to talk about next week, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.